because we would love to, since this was an opportunity for you all to practice networking. Again, this is a safe experience. Everyone who was here today came wanting you to win, wanting you to be excellent as you already are. So we want to be able to provide you with some feedback, as this is not your last opportunity to network. You'll have tons more opportunities, especially if you stay connected to Lead to Change. So we want this to be constructive. So I'm going to ask, and you all don't have to do it, but if you want to do popcorn, first I want them to share with you what they thought you did well. So I'm just going to ask them, and I'll pass the mic. And then they're also going to share with you, and you can do this simultaneously, you can do it at the same time, 1 or 2 things that you could do to be even more successful the next time. So again, recognizing you all are practicing and learning, but there are some tools that can help you to be even better the next time you have this opportunity. All right? All right, thank you.
I'll just start out because I'm right here. But what really impressed me, and I think I met at least 9 or 10 different people, was that you looked at me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in an interview session or just talking to another adult, we look down, but you guys looked at me, you gave me eye contact, and so that let me know that you were paying attention to what it was that I was saying. So that impressed me overall. All of you did that.
Hi, I think I would agree with that. The eye contact was wonderful, but some of you also had some really strong handshakes that were very affirming right when I met you, so I did appreciate that. It wasn't weak, it felt like you were really connecting with me right away, so I appreciate it.
I too had a really great experience, but I have a little bit of a bias, and that is I know who Lead to Change students are, and so I expected nothing less but greatness in my conversations. And the one thing that I will say, out of all of the students that I talked to, again, the eye contact, making really good conversation, close the deal. Some of you asked me for your business card. Some of you for my business card. Some of you said, can I stay in contact with you? But make sure with all of your connections that you close the deal. Make that call to action, ask if you can stay connected, make sure that you can get the business card. That is the tip that I will leave for you today.
Yeah, just a great experience. Met a lot of really great young people today, and I'd say biggest thing that I noticed was everyone is just so passionate, and not just passionate but prepared and knew exactly the direction that they were taking, and I thought that was just excellent to see in such a great young group of people.
All right, of course, I know Lead to Change students, so I was really impressed and exceeded my expectations, and I love the passion and the explanations around why they wanted to do something, and if they were unsure about something in particular, they were not afraid to ask the questions, and sometimes the hard questions. And so it had me questioning some of my own answers to say, wait, was I really clear? And what was that word she said? So just very, very brilliant students as well. So, but I'll piggyback on what Tammy said. Yeah, close the deal, because I was having some conversations with students and then they just disappeared without saying goodbye. And it was really interesting conversations from all the students. So the students I met, stay in touch.
So, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to meet all of the young people that I met today. Several of them did ask for my card, and I gave out all of those that I had on today. But the one thing that I tried to share as I was communicating with them, because we had groups of 3 and 4, is really, and I understand your the instruction that you were given, but just to encourage you to use every opportunity that you have to learn about the people that you are around. Sometimes we miss opportunities, folks that we think we know, but we never ask the question. And the last group I think I had, we learned through communicating with each other that they're all born in July, except one was June, a year earlier, but the last 3 all in July, and I believe at the same hospital, 2 the same day or day apart. So you never know unless you ask, just through that communication, what you can learn and then begin to build on, because it's key in networking, building relationships, and those relationships you can go back to later on.
I want to say ditto to what's being said, and I also want to say that everyone that I spoke to, when I asked them what they wanted to do and why they wanted to do it, they nailed their elevator speech. I could not do that at your age, so I was very impressed by that. And also that you were open to ideas and suggestions. And a couple of people asked me for cards or how to get in contact with me because something they missed that they talked about. I said, well, I may know somebody that's in that field, and so they said, well, how do we get in contact with you? Which is closing the deal. So I want to congratulate all of you, and I know we've got a bunch of superstars in the making right here.
First of all, I would like to ask all of you to give yourselves a round of applause. Job well done by all that I met. I'm in the construction field. Nobody I talked to was interested, but they asked me a series of questions. They gave me, an opportunity to give some advice. So good questions. You don't always have to be in the same field or doing the same thing to get some good advice, to get led in the right direction. So stay focused. I'm proud of you guys. You see all this madness on TV about people of your age and what they're doing wrong, but I don't see a camera here that's showing what y'all doing right. So it ain't what they say go, it's what you know go. So keep doing it.
This is the first time I've ever wanted to take high school students home. I was like, oh. Thank you. The rain couldn't keep me away. I have to go to graduation tonight and see some first-generation dental students hit the stage and get their degrees. And so being here is kind of a little bit full circle because I can see the potential in every single student that I got to meet and interact with today. So I really do count that as a blessing, and I really appreciate meeting the ones I did. I'm serious. Please stay in touch with me so that we can ensure you have some support on your way out as well. What you did well, the professionalism is shocking. I think I expected that because of the program preparation, but seeing it in action was great. And there was a few moments when there was some awkwardness of like wanting to introduce yourself and interrupt, what was going on, and you really did that seamlessly, so I appreciate it. My only critique would be to a few students, your volume, have a confident volume when you talk, because the head nodding and the eye contact is good, but if I can't hear what you're saying, I don't think you sound confident, it might make me question a little bit, okay? Secondly, the last thing I would say for maybe just like a improvement would be if you know you want to go into law enforcement, remember there's also physical fitness tests and other things that you have to do to prepare yourself for that, not just education too, okay? So know all of those steps depending on what your career path is.
So I echo the comments, many of the comments that have already been made, and I guess the most recent one is that confidence factor and the volume in your voice, especially right at that moment when you introduce yourself. Very key. Overall, I was very, very impressed with everyone that I met, and similar to what Jerry said, very good questions. I think what's key in networking is if you can ask, if it's not specific, but just even a generic question to get to know more about a person. You all did that very, very well. So kudos to you, and I wish you all nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Hey, I had a great time talking to all of you. I think what I was most impressed by were the conversations that started with genuine authenticity. It's easy in these network environments, especially when you know that that's the purpose, to kind of jump right into whatever your mission is, your elevator pitch, and go right into my job. But the people, whether you were faking or not, you made me feel like you cared about something that I had to say, and I think that that's good because I think there are a lot of commonalities between all people. And when you can find those, whether that's sharing your experience in high school or some type of music that you like or some event that you attended or what your parents do, it's kind of finding those authentic connections that make me want to help you and want to reach out to you whether I'm in your field or not. So people who are able to nail that authentic connection right from the jump, that's a major skill, and I'm really excited to work with y'all moving forward.
I'm really impressed. I wish I could stick around all evening, and I wouldn't get bored of speaking with everybody here. The people that I spoke with did a really amazing job of being professional and at the same time expressing your personality, expressing a part of yourself. The best advice anybody ever gave me about networking is that building a friendship and building a relationship isn't necessarily the same thing. There isn't anything, there doesn't have to be, you don't have to come into this as like, oh, that's so fake. You're gonna come in and talk to people that you don't know and smile, and it's not fake, it's real. And that moment that you're connecting with somebody may last 2 minutes, but it's real. And I know that I'm gonna go home tonight with carrying with me the images and the words and your energies and thinking about it and just feeling really, really good about that. So continue to practice. There's so many opportunities to practice, to continue to feel more comfortable and get better at it.
I don't have too much unique to add, although I thoroughly enjoyed this. And I think one thing that I want to echo is this notion that I think it's very unfortunate that TV cameras aren't here today. I think for children of color in the city of Milwaukee, you're painted in such a negative light almost all the time. And I think people paint too many of you with a broad brush. There are some amazing young people in this room. So I think, when I think about, people who have interest in careers that weren't even developed when I was your age. I met young people that are kindred spirits. So a lot of future police officers and clinical psychologists and prosecutors and attorneys, and it's just really heartwarming to me. So good luck, and don't believe all the negative hype.
So I too don't have anything different than what everyone else shared, but well done with taking the leap to meet a bunch of people that you don't know, not looking nervous, making sure that you look professional, because it takes about 3 seconds to form a first impression. So you want to make sure that you look the part and you show up and you always are thinking about your brand and how people are perceiving you. So nicely done, ladies and gentlemen. You have bright futures ahead of you, so thanks for having me, and thanks for trying out these skills.
I too concur with everything that's been said, but I guess the point I would want to make is that networking is a really important skill to have in terms of your professional development. You can have technical skills, but a lot, and as we were talking beforehand, most of us get our jobs through personal relationships. And so you have to be about selling yourself. And I think it's really important, that even to learn how to do this with perfect strangers, go up to people, say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I would like to get to know you. I mean, you gotta assert yourself. And I know it feels artificial and it's hard. I mean, I kind of was an introvert when I was younger, and I had to learn how to do it, because that's what you have to do if you want to be successful in life. And then I know in some of our conversations, how do you deal with those awkward silences, and when the conversation runs out and neither party has anything more to say? Well, that happens too, and you got to learn to you got to practice how to deal with those situations, to say, well, come up with a closing conversation to say, okay, well, it was a pleasure meeting you. I think I'm going to move on now. And you kind of close the deal, when you don't have anything more to say. But you gotta kind of have a few of those pet kind of phrases in the back of your mind so that you can manage the relationship. But overall, I think you guys, for being sophomores, juniors in high school, and seniors, you did a remarkable job. I mean, I couldn't do what you did today when I was in high school. So all the best to you.
You guys did great. So a couple points I want to mention from my interactions with all of you. One of the things I had to note, and it's kind of important to know when you're networking, is energy. You have, like it was mentioned before, showing up and making the first impression. There were some cases that I was just attacked with energy, and I'm just like, and getting attacked by 4 people, let alone someone that's just very active with energy, and it's just rare to know, but that's good. And then there were some individuals that they came in and it was kind of like they're just there. and you know you want the position, or you know you want to make a connection, but it didn't necessarily show in the gestures. So be aware of the energy that you're bringing to the conversation, especially if you're talking about passion. If it's something that you're passionate about, the energy should be able to show through, and it should be able to show through the conversation. And then the other thing, just being engaging, not only letting someone know who you are, what you want to do, what you're interested in, but ask the right questions and be prepared to ask questions that you can make it a genuine conversation and learn as much as you can from the person. And as mentioned, like when you get to those spots where it's dead and you're not sure what to say, that's probably the perfect time to kind of have that closing statement and say, well, it was nice to meet you. I would like to make a connection with you and make it further. You have a business card or something to that statement. So I agree with everything that was said, and you guys did good.
This was a wonderful afternoon for me. I really am impressed with the communication skills. We all are working continuously on our communication skills. You're all on a really great start. I had no problems with many people coming over and just, beginning a conversation, so keep that up. There's some things that you may want to just keep in mind, that there's the informal communication that even people who didn't have common career paths that I have had no problems communicating where we may have had things in common, which I was very impressed with. So I would say that's important, and always have a line that you can, all of us are human beings, and so having a conversation that you can just approach people and inquire and learn about them is always important. The other point is that I think that I wanted to make that some of the people who I asked about, they were juniors and on their way into being seniors, and I asked them, do you have enrichment opportunities that you have availed yourself? And I was kind of disappointed that you don't, some of you don't, and I hope many of you, I gave you my card, that you really need to think about how you develop your portfolio, even starting now, because that will follow you throughout your career. The last thing but not least is just because you think you want to go into a career path now, you may change your mind later. I've gone through that. And so it's okay to say everybody you talk to provides you maybe with an opportunity to explore. And I wouldn't be shy about saying, who knows, there are different career paths that I've heard throughout this afternoon. And it's like, I kept saying, well, we have something in common. And so just remember that we've changed our mind. I can tell you I've changed my mind from being a lawyer to being a PhD researcher to being a doctor. And so it varies, and don't think you have to stay where you are just because you stay.
It was very great to talk to you today, and I want to say thank you to Jane to give me this opportunity, and also to you to talk to me. First, I would like to say that I came to know that some of you want to be doctor, some engineer, and some lawyer. But one thing is that communication skill is very vital in any type of career that you choose, because it will help each and every time it will help you to grow in your career, and it can be achieved only through the practice. So you got a very good platform to practice it, and I will request you that you utilize it fully. And one thing I would like to tell you that first you just finalize your goal that you want to be, and totally focus and work hard to gain your that you want to be achieved, and to get your goal and to be success. And finally, all the best to be success to all of you, and to all of you.
So to wrap up, if I can get 3 young people who would come up front and share briefly an appreciation for the professionals who were here today. So come up, the first 3 that come up get to share. You see all of them?
Will you stay up there? You wanna go? Good. Let's go. You're gonna stay on it? Will you put it in your pocket, please?
So I let Miss Margaret.
We talked and we found out, like she said, we were born in the same hospital in the same month, and yeah, we got the same zodiac sign. It was and she told us what she was telling us that it's weird once you get the relationship with people and you start talking to people that you can actually find out that you have connections with people that you never would have thought you had connections with. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Victoria Ingram. I'm a junior at Golden My Year for the Gifted and Talented. And unfortunately, I didn't have the pleasure to speak to every person up here, but I do want to thank you all for coming out today, coming out this weekend, to help us young people, you know, discover what we want to do. I had the pleasure of talking to Mr. McAllister, I'm sorry, and McIntosh, I'm sorry, and Miss Easter. And what I like about them is that they were like real with me. Like I didn't feel like I was talking to, you know, CEO or millionaire. Like I know that they're very. I feel like I could relate to them. So thank you guys for that. And you know when I was talking to them, they both asked me like, what made you want to go into this field and stuff like that. And just the questions that they asked me really made me think about it. And I'm actually going to go home and think some more because they asked me questions that I didn't know the answer to. So again, thank you all for coming out today.
Hi, my name is Charles Livingston of Carolina. I'm currently attending Washington High School. I'm a junior. And I just want to say, all the people that I talked to today, y'all guys are really inspirational. Just coming out here just to make sure that they lead us into the right direction is just like really inspiring and like alright, I'm not getting nervous. Like you guys just are really inspirational, and I just like really hope that one day I'll be able to be in the same footsteps that you are in, like just guiding us into the right path.
Thank you all so much. So as we wrap up, I do want to appreciate all of you all. So the young people for being engaged and taking risks and really just putting it all out there. So thank you. Give yourself a round of applause. And then again, our professionals for being here as well with us. So please stay connected. I would want to challenge you all to think about personally one thing that you can do to improve your networking skills. And if you need some guidance, obviously you have incredible coaches and mentors and lead to change, so take use of that. As we close up for today, I'm going to have you guys go